Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our main card opener for UFC Vegas 113. In this matchup, we have Dustin Jacoby taking on Julius Walker. So, this is sort of short notice for both men. Now, Julius Walker was supposed to be on this card as he was supposed to take on Salibayev. Unfortunately, he sadly pulled out due to injury and stepped in Dustin Jacoby, who he himself was originally supposed to fight at UFC 325 last week against Jimmy Crute. Unfortunately, Jimmy Crute pulled his knee, if I remember correctly, and Jacoby decided to step in to take on Julius Walker. So this is one of those matchups where I think experience and skill feel like they matter a lot. It might be the most important factor in this fight. As Walker, he is younger, more athletic, and aggressive. But Jacoby, I think he's been here before. He's fought higher level competition, and he's seen different looks. Jacoby, he knows how to stay calm, and when things get wild, and stay calm when things get wild. And Jacoby, when you put a raw, powerful guy in there with a seasoned striker, I think the edge usually goes to the vet who knows how to manage a fight. I mean, granted, like I said, I'm trying something new where I'm basically saying who I think's going to win, but it's thoroughly explaining why I think they're going to win. Now, really quick, looking at their last five. For Julius Walker, he is 4-1 in his last five, specifically 1-1 in the UFC, where he lost his debut on short notice, I believe, to Alonzo Menesfield last February. Then got his first UFC win against Rafael Sequeira last August. So Julius Walker, he is a prospect more or less. I mean, he does seem to have some abilities. He's got a good ground game, but his only UFC win is against one of the worst UFC fighters I've ever seen in Rafael Sequeira. Meanwhile, for Jacoby, 3-2 doing his last fight. His latest fight was an impressive knockout win over Kenny Nzechukwu. Then was on a 2-fight skid, losing to Alonzo Menesfield and then getting knocked out by Dominic Reyes. But since then, it's on a nice 2-fight win streak, knocking out both Vitor Beltrino and Bruno Lopez last May and then December of 2024, respectively. So Jacoby's been on a nice win streak. Honestly, that Vitor Beltrino fight specifically was a great win for him because he was down, I thought, 2 rounds and going on to the third. I thought he was losing the third round until he came out of nowhere with the 1-2 down the pipe that knocked out Beltrino. So this is definitely going to be an interesting fight. And again, one where, again, short notice, both guys were supposed to fight 2 different people with, relatively speaking, skill-wise and placement in the rankings or placement in the division made sense. But without further ado, let's get down to the breakdown. Starting with Julius Walker. I'd say right now he's all about physicality. Walker, he's big, he's strong, he can throw hard. Got a good ground game, like I said. He's got some good wrestling to him. Walker, he wants to pressure, force exchanges, and test your toughness. And when he gets rolling, he can be dangerous because, Walker, I believe his power is real. He's got some good power to him. And, not afraid to let his hands go. The downside is, like I said, Walker is still pretty raw. He only has 8 fights to his name. And, Walker, his defense isn't great. His entries can be sloppy. He relies a lot on athleticism rather than technique, which, makes sense for a, not specifically a prospect, but for a prospect in the heavier weight classes. And by that, I just mean light heavyweight and heavyweight. And, that can work against certain opponents. You saw where he beat Sequeira and nearly did beat Alonzo Menesfield in a split decision. Granted, I didn't think it was a split decision, but it's risky against someone who knows how to punish those mistakes. Meanwhile, you have Dustin Jacoby, who is a clean, experienced kickboxer, fought in Glory before, and even fought Alex Pereira in kickboxing. Obviously, he didn't win, but still, that is an impressive accolade to say, you fought Pereira in kickboxing. Jacoby, he's calm, patient, and very comfortable standing and trading. And Jacoby, he uses his reach very well, keeps his guard tight, and knows when to pick his shots. For example, in the Kenny Nzechukwu fight, you saw Jacoby kind of on the back of the fence, finding his reads, putting out his probing hand, and then so fast, so quick, and so precise, landed a right hand that floored Nzechukwu and then finished it off with strikes. Jacoby doesn't rush. He's happy to let opponents come to him, And then from there, Jacoby can make them pay for it. And he does it almost every time. Like with Bruno Lopez coming in, trying to just clinch with Jacoby and rushing recklessly. Jacoby, rocked him with a jab and then finish it off with a series of hooks. Jacoby's just so good at making opponents pay. If you just rush at him, or just bull rush at him is a better term, and you don't set it up at all. Jacoby, like I said, he's fought high-level MMA fighters, like he fought Azamat Murzakanov, for example. He's fought Dominic Reyes. He's fought a lot of good light heavyweights. And, and pressure alone usually is just not enough to rattle someone like Dustin Jacoby. Now, seeing how they clash. Walker's probably going to try and make this fight physical right away. Probably close distance, get the clinch, and initiate his ground game. As that is one concern. Jacoby's been stalled out by grapplers before, and it's certainly a possibility with Walker, who is younger by 11 years. And like I said, just nice, like, bait for the division, and like I said, got good power. But the more he pressures, I think the more openings he gives Jacoby. And Jacoby is, like I said, really good at staying composed, sliding back just enough, and firing shots straight down the middle. And Walker's wide punches and loose defense are exactly the kind of things Jacoby has built a career on countering. And I think as the fight goes on, that experience gap starts to show. And Walker may slow down from throwing big shots, while Jacoby, stays steady and keeps landing clean. And even if Walker has moments, I think Jacoby is better at managing the pace and not letting the fight spiral out of his control. So, for my official prediction, Walker's power gives him a chance for sure. He could land a wild haymaker and really hurt Jacoby. Or if he gets the fight to the ground, then I do see him winning majority of the round, if not the whole fight, if he's able to consistently get takedowns. But over the course of the fight, I think just Dustin Jacoby should win this fight, if I'm being honest. He should win this fight. I see Jacoby picking Walker apart with cleaner strikes, just having the better defense, and overall just better shot selection, smarter shot selection. Walker has yet to really show any clean technique with his striking that much. Like I say, he mostly throws wild haymakers, and like I said, the square fight. I'm telling you, he was throwing right hands and left hooks from a football fields away, and he still managed to hit Square because, like I said, Square was just not UFC level. But those punches are not landing on Dustin Jacoby. It's not happening. Now, of course, Walker can fake a takedown and then fire an overhand. That's certainly a possibility. But again, Jacoby's been in there with such elite level fighters at light heavyweight that he's seen those tricks. He's fought people who do those tricks. I mean, fucking Alonzo Menefield has done the same thing. And, Alonzo Menefield did beat him. Did beat Jacoby and beat Walker. But Jacoby is much better than he was before. And I think in terms of just picking his spots, and certainly better with his defense, and better with his experience of dealing with that type of style. So for my official prediction, I got to go with Dustin Jacoby, and I'm going to pick him via knockout in this fight. I think Julius Walker is going to try and bull rush with strikes, bull rush to get a takedown in the clinch, and just walk right into a right hand by Dustin Jacoby and eat a knockout on his way in. So once again, I'm picking Dustin Jacoby, and I'm going to pick him via knockout. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this matchup. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think's going to win. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. And remember, stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see y'all next time.